Sorry, I'm just making sure I have my mod load order set up. So I'm just going to try and find an example of creatures fighting each other. And because I wanted to show off the dynamic ecological behavior for creatures mod, which I like a lot. Oh, yeah, I think one of the other creatures murdered the mud crab. I mean, I'll get better at this as time goes on. You know, streaming and all that. The controller, I feel, really helps me concentrate a lot more. Like, the other controller I used to have just... It didn't work because there were severe dead zone issues. I don't know if it was the type of controller or how old the controller was. I don't think it was a whole joystick one. And I think Openmw might, oh yeah. That's the mini Spriggans. They come from the grass. Oh yeah, so poison hits the grass, they get really upset about it. That's what it is. And they were in a fight with the Netch, as you can see. This is grass that maybe, turn down the volume a little bit. But this grass here, you know, it's very... I might eventually place more of it throughout Morrowind, but, you know, I'm worried about performance problems, so if I did it, it would be very experimental. It can do a lot of things, like you cut it shrinks and eventually goes away. It can catch on fire, and if you sneak in it, it will give you a tiny bit of a chameleon bonus. And if you cast a restoration spell, an area effect one, the grass will grow. And you know, if you cast poison at the grass, the Spriggans will get mad and try and attack you. If you heal the grass, the mini Spriggans will follow you around for a while as companions. The only reason why it's only here right now in Ceten is I'm worried about it causing a major performance loss if I put it in most places, and I'm just trying to be cautious with it, but it does kind of give you elevated stealth like in Assassin's Creed or Wind Waker and Zelda, with, you know, being in the grass and sneaking in it. So, I mean, I might mass transplant it outside of there and at first use it with like an experimental alternate download, DwemerNightTerrors. But, you know, it's something I'm cautious about because I'm worried about it consuming too much memory or something, because so much scripting goes into the experimental grass here. So, Oh yes, we're trying to find creatures fighting each other. Oh, I just remembered something. The bashing doors mod. You can hear it, you can see it move. I just love it on top of everything else. So, there's a place here where you can make torches, which is important. Okay. Let's get our thing to keep the zombies away. I can drink my coffee. And try and find creatures fighting each other. And yeah, I did try a mass transplant the grass to like the general Bitter Coast region, like 100 times more grass than there is here. And it seemed to cause a massive frames per second issue, which is the only reason why I only kept it in a small section in Satanine and only a few patches. And although I don't know if it was that being that intensive or the fact that I was using a computer that was literally a dying computer. You know, by default, one of the joysticks changes, you know, whether you're third person or first person. I changed it to, I think the plus thing on this controller I have. I might look at a specific model later on, but I did that so I could use the joystick to do lock-ons, you know, like similar to like games like Dark Souls. Like that. It just feels so intuitive like that. And another thing you can do is with the Soltha's combat pack, you know, you can jump in the air to get like horizontal distance fast. And if you do like the slide from my Morrowind Hype mod after that, you can slide right after like this. So if you chain things together, you can move around really, really quickly. Like I'll try and do it with the ramp. We used to have more stunt ramps, but I was worried about data bloat, so I don't have nearly as many stunt ramps around as I did, but there's still quite a few. So I'll try and do a time stunt. We're gonna do the double jump forward from Salta's combat mod like this, then we'll slide, and we will slide by tapping sneak and untapping sneak with the weapon drawn or spell drawn, and then we're going to try and slide right into that stunt platform to move extremely fast. So here we go. And yes, those stunt platforms can be dangerous, but that's what makes it so exciting, potentially. Some of these trees, like the ones that look like a gigantic version of the vanilla trees, are the ones from DwemerNightTerrors that are climbable, and if you get really close, it'll say tree. And if you have a claw weapon, well, not the bound claws, but the other two types of claw weapons, you can climb them with those. The climbing's not super great because the collision detection isn't that great on the branches, but you can get major elevation that way. And then with the anti-gravity stick, you can go gliding off of it. Oh yeah. There's another thing. I have both the fireball module and the fireball propulsion module. This one's like more of a weapon thing. This one's to basically double jump, triple jump from shooting your fireballs from it straight downwards like this. I'll go into third person to make it more visible so you can see what I'm doing. And you can also avoid taking fall damage by timing it just right like this. Also, the small fireballs mean you're less likely to accidentally hit someone you don't mean to hit. But you can do that to get a lot more mobility. And it does a very, very small amount of fire damage to you. It's almost like a jetpack, but you do it by casting fireballs downwards. Like that. Okay. So I'm still trying to find some creatures fighting each other. They usually fight each other if I think they have a good chance of killing each other. Let's look at the map so I can go somewhere I haven't spent a lot of time. And if I can find at least one instance of that, you know, I'll look into starting a new game and seeing how that goes. I really like this Waters of His Glory mod. It's really quite a new one and has these, and I love how you can travel through the pipes it has. And when you dig out the Daedric Claws, you can like quickly equip or unequip your torch by just, I think it's, you enter caster stance. Either caster stance or combat stance. If you have it set up with a special ring, your quick torch ring, and then you'll automatically take your torch out. Oh yeah, you can hear those skeletons. That's the Daggerfall Skeletons sound mod. I like it a lot. I just love how dynamic and immersive it is, going through these passages here. And I'm overjoyed to find out. I don't think this doesn't conflict with most Vivig mods at all. Doesn't seem to conflict with DwemerNightTerrors at all either. And, you know, there's like this level here that you can visually see it and notice it, like, oh, and here's another nice thing I learned you can do. You know, the crouching, well, not crouching, but crawling will allow you to get through the grate like that. It's definitely going to be a lot different starting out, you know, level 1. My plan is, you know, having most of my runs as regular DwemerNightTerrors runs, but I was going to have one as zombie DwemerNightTerrors, just, you know, for the sake of how absurdly difficult it would be. And seeing how that goes with my Sishandra Barlily mod. Oh, really? Those two fighting each other. Now, we'll just go deeper inside and, you know, see what we can find. And we'll turn back up the volume for now. Oh, just as I said that. What timing? We're seeing two mud crabs fighting it out. This is so sweet. Another mod I have installed is the arena mod. So you have to use a special ESP for open borrowing. It's just one of the most interesting and engaging mods out there. Oh yeah, and the fishing mods. The fishing mod that works with open borrowing. I'll show you how weak this fireball is. Oh, well, here's a mud crab. That's the disease versus the healthy mud crab. And the little thing about the sliding is that if you tap it briefly, you'll go a lot faster. But if you hold it down like that, the slide will be a bit more brief, but more reliable, stealth-wise. And when you are sliding, you temporarily take less normal weapon and shock damage very briefly. But when you're crawling, you take more shock damage and normal weapon damage. We'll go for a relaxing little walk. And I'm kind of curious about, why it took me a while to start streaming Morrowind. I had a few, graphical problems, missing meshes, missing textures, stuff like that. Some just from mods I didn't install the right way. I got confused when I was using 7-zip again on a new computer, because it was just slightly different. And I hadn't used it in a long time. Oh yeah, another thing, by the way, is I recently updated DwemerNightTerrors and Sashandra Barlowy to fix some missing meshes. It was only 2 missing meshes, but I didn't know until I got a new computer and re-downloaded the mods. It was the grass is missing in Sashandra Barlowy's City of Sash-Dagon, and the Dwemer walls that I used from another modder's resources. The chain link fence graphics were missing for DwemerNightTerrors, but I updated all of them recently. So hopefully that won't happen again. Oh, wow, we randomly ran into a wandering pharmacist. You know, there's less pharmacists in cities, but more wandering pharmacists in the zombie Night Terrors version. This is the regular Night Terrors version, but yes, you can... They spawn semi-randomly, and you can see them with their bodyguards. Sometimes they like to wander around in the wilderness. Some of them hide in high-up places that are hard to find. There's even a few of them in Solstheim, but mostly Vardenfell. It's always nice to see a familiar face. Glowing red eye looking at us. I mean, you have to download the Dwemer Textures mod project to get the glowing red eye. But I think it's very much worth it to make that eye from the, well, both DwemerNightTerrors and Sishandra Barlowy glow red. Give you a closer look of it. Glowing eye. Oh yeah, that's another thing. The dynamic actors mod actually affects the player character. Like you sit still and, you know, you play certain animations. I mean, animations are slightly off because I'm holding a torch right now. Normally I'd be like shrugging both my arms. And if you stay still for longer, you'll start laying on the ground at some point. Well, change sitting positions. Let's see what happens. I think eventually I'll start laying on the ground. Oh, there we go. And we still don't have the charged warp step implant, which gives you like a blink ability that for gameplay reasons only works outdoors. So theoretically you could do a double jump with Salsa's combat mod, and then do the slide thing right afterwards, and then do that with like the short range teleport to get a lot of horizontal distance in just a few seconds. And you know, you'd be pressing 3 buttons in just the right order to do that as fast as possible, which I look really forward to trying that later on. Gotta keep in mind that in order to warp step, you have to keybind the warp step implant, and you keybind it by going to 9 here and going to OK, then going to options, then controls, then, you know, then you rebind 9 to, like, in my case I like to rebind it to the right mouse button, and then I like to rebind that to the upper left trigger of, you know, my thing. Because I'm trying to, it's supposed to be a similar control scheme to like blocking in Oblivion or Skyrim, but depending on your character's stance in a situation, you'll increase your block chance or consume a Daedric Heart, or you'll warp step. Oh, I accidentally set the grass on fire. I forgot you could do that. And I think the fire can be dangerous to you. Oh yeah, it can. It definitely can. I was doing that just for the science of it. And if you use your DwemerNightTerrors options ring, you can use it to get out another ring and disable the fire safety so it actually harms like NPCs, but I have it off by default because I assume that would annoy most people even if it's sometimes immersive. Part of the reason why was I had no way to like make sure an NPC knows for sure if you set them on fire or not. So that could cause so many gameplay options, which is why burning NPCs with Torched by the Grass is off by default. I mean, that might change in the future. Yeah, I accidentally got myself, well, semi-accidentally got myself killed. Oh yes, here's one. Because you have this by default, it basically gives you bound claws for the cost of fatigue. It's different from like the actual claw weapons. Let's see, I'll try and demonstrate it. Oh, there we go. And now we have them. Oh, I thought my implant wasn't working. One sec. Try and go my bottom tiny bit. Okay, so let's see if I can find a fishing pole. That's the last thing I'll do before I start a new game, is I will try and get to Cool to use a fishing pole. Let's see. And all those messages are just, I had these set differently earlier, just testing things. So, look at a map to see which way I'm facing. Okay. I'm gonna be out of the same direction for a while. You know, on a random note, speaking of mods and stuff, I really am a huge fan of someone called Saint J on the Nexus, who has made a ton of textures for Morrowind that are incredibly high detail. It's just, and I tried to install all of them, it's just my computer cannot handle that right now until I have a better computer in the future. Especially not the landscape one, so it looks amazing. Nice little effect of these gigantic trees is make it a little easier to navigate from way up here. The hover bike has it hovers to higher heights in some regions than others, and the landing is slightly different in region to region, particularly Red Mountain and Ashlands, because they're so high in general. In elevation. I mean, it's mostly watercolor and Morrowind, and I think it's Centurion's Reborn or Dwemer texture, some Dwemer texture thing that I use the graphics. I mean, the graphics are almost pretty similar to vanilla Morrowind, actually. But a little bit polished. Let's see. Oh yeah, we're trying to get to cool. Because I remember there's a fishing pole here. Alright, time to put that quick land into action. Oh no, I'm too high. I'll try to time it better this time. There we go. Best we could time just right like that.
Is there something I can do?
Oh, we can use something to get out. These single creatures messing with each other. Interestingly, it synergizes well with DwemerNightTerrors, because DwemerNightTerrors gives like aquatic creatures electroshock abilities, and the dynamic ecological behavior makes them attack each other, so you just see them electrocuting each other senseless a lot of the time.
Is there something?
I know there's a fishing pole around here somewhere. Okay, I always associate this place with fishing poles. Before I do my whole, start a new game and legitimately play this super dynamic version of Morrowind, I'm gonna make sure the whole low-aid region mod is working properly, which I don't think will take me that long. And I also just recently, I made a mistake like a few days ago where I thought that this computer couldn't work with 7-zip, like the computer was incompatible with it, but it was actually just the interface is slightly different than on the other computer. And I also learned that you do not have to drag things from 7-zip into a folder and then move that folder into the thing. You can just sometimes just directly open things with 7-zip to do it more quickly. It kind of depends, but there are some mods where you can mess them up, where if you unzip them with something that's not 7-zip. And I think that's why I was having graphical issues a few days ago. Like, I was on YouTube talking to someone a lot about my mod, and I didn't want to start streaming Morrowind soon, but, the problems with the graphics, and it was because, I didn't use 7-zip to unzip certain things. Like, I was using WinZip for a lot of things, because I think it's what was on the computer by default, and I just had wrongfully assumed that it was only compatible with WinZip, and just a silly thought I had. I'm still trying to find that fishing pole. I decided to, you can now download something that makes creatures attack NPCs, but for now I've decided to only get the one that makes creatures attack each other and, guards, just because I'd be a little bit afraid of losing named NPCs, personally, like that.
Is there something I can
do? Wait, I think it's inside one of the shacks. I really should get my torch back out. No, wait, I don't have a torch right now.
Is there something?
I believe we might have to do a little bit of cheating. We're still just showcasing. So let's do this. Okay. Here it is. You can get bait for these, but you don't actually need bait to use them, and they are technically a weapon. There's another fishing mod that's like a really amazing fishing mod, but it just does not work with Open Morrowind. I'm not sure if it ever will. And my mod loader is just so dependent on Open Morrowind, and DwemerNightTerrors doesn't work at all without Open Morrowind, so, I just got the fishing rod that works with Openmw, and it's pretty nice. I never imagined I'd be, you know, fishing, headshotting, having bodies go flying in combat, and, you know, temperature and food-based survival all in Morrowind. Elevation's too high to go fishing. Maybe I should stand here. Well. Oh, I wrote down a cloth left bracer, I think.
Go ahead, Outlander. What do you need?
Wait, yes, tell me about services. I'll just do a quick checkup. See if there's anyone selling bait.
Is there something you need?
I like how you don't actually need it to fish, but it just increases the chances of successfully fishing a lot. And I just wanted to showcase again, I love this quick loot mod so much. I'm using the D-pad to cycle between things, and it's just so cozy looting and looking at containers like this. Oh yeah, gotta have my fishing pole out. I know I might or might not try out the Morrowind Comes Live mod again. Like, that is one of my favorite mods. And it was updated for Openmw fairly recently. It's just, last time I used it, there was an issue where guards would not defend themselves in combat sometimes. And I don't know if that was the mod or if it was my computer, like, you know, or something else. But if I could have it like that and, you know, without too much of a performance hit, I might try it out again.
Yes, Outlander. What do you want?
Oh yeah, another. This is because of the Lux mod. You know, it's... things get locked at night, and I think I have noticed there are like less NPCs out at nighttime, which is just another thing that I'm amazed to see in Morrowind. And also just makes it much scarier when, you know, all the doors are locked and getting, you know, caught unlocking them. Get you in trouble, and imagine there's things after you when it's cold and you need to go inside to get warm, and I just love the complexity of it. But, you know, since I'm just checking things out right now, well, cheat a little.
Go ahead, Outlander.
Hey.
What do you need?
That's...
Is there something I can do for you?
I'm pretty sure that one of the innkeepers in Satanine has the fishing
Go ahead,
bait.
Outlander. What do you need?
Ariel, the think that's his name.
May I help you?
Well, let's look at all that's available here. Actually, we'll do that. One more demonstration of the hover bike, and we'll be going opposite. So, we'll see real fast. And head to Kittymir. Opposite direction to the south. This northern cool place. Let's see. Straight shot this way. Let's turn up the volume now. I'm gonna look in chat and see if anyone said anything. Touched someone, notice I've been gone a while. Yeah, I have been gone a while. My computer I started streaming with died a month or two ago. It was like an 11-year-old computer. Some parts of it might have been that old. And I had to completely reinstall Openmw and turn on the volume. Yeah, I had to completely install Morrowind and the mods, and I was fixing graphical glitches in Sashandra Barlow ESP and DwemerNightTerrors, and tonight I was setting up my streaming stuff again, which, you know, had to start all over with, but now I'm back to streaming again, and I look forward to doing this more consistently again. I spend, you know, most of my time either, you know, Morrowind, Team Fortress 2, PlanetSide 2, or VR Chat. Like, those are my favorite games of all time. I have other, like, big favorite games, but, like, games I want to play, you know, for the sake of the story sometime. And we're in Kittymir now. Well, we're gonna try and find the bait, because that's what I was talking about. There we go. Made it to our destination. Okay. Oh, spooky, scary skeletons that come out at night. It's because we're barely at the edge of the wilderness, I think. So, just for fun, as a demonstration, we are going to activate this and sneak to put in our inventory, and we're going to put it in a random interior. Like, pretend that this is the inside of an airship from another mod. And then you just drop it like that. And there you go. You're now storing your hover bike inside. But you know, if you can store it in a much larger vehicle like a ship, it's just nice to be able to do that. That was like maybe a year or so ago. I entered an airship on my hover bike, and I was really sad I couldn't bring it in with me, so I changed the script slightly so that, you know, you can now store inside of interiors of airships. Okay, so we got our bait. I think you just there's, I'm gonna try and learn how to use the bait again. Oh, gosh, it's a type of, is it miscellaneous? Oh, yes. I forget how to use a fishing bait. I'm gonna look it up real fast. Let's see. It's very nice to have multiple watchers tonight, and Kitty hopes your viewers are having a wonderful night. Let's see. Like there's someone called Ultimate Fishing, but I have a different one. I'm looking at my folder right now. Data files, search data files, and fishing. Oh, fishing ESP, fishing readme. Let's see. Oh, you just have to have bait in your inventory and it will automatically work, the fishing bait. know. Well, sun's about to come up anyways, and, you know, we're invisible from the cheat codes. But I'm gonna start at level 1, those are gonna be a lot more dangerous. Oh, my hover bike just ran out of souls. I think I have more, yeah, I have backup soul battery. And, you know, the backup soul battery, you just have to go back to your Dwemer hover bike with the key equipped. I tend to have it on my, you know, primary 4 D-pad shortcuts. And you just go to the hover bike and activate it. And you should get a notification. Oh, the hover bike, you can only take it out of its box and exteriors for gameplay reasons.
Dope.
Okay, I think we're gotta go inside and outside to unbug it, collision. Ah, there, see. When you have a backup soul battery and it's out of charge, it'll automatically turn into a hover bike soul battery. So just for the sake of it, I think we should go to Solstheim. And we'll go to the extreme ends of Solstheim, and then I will make sure my mod's not, the Holoaid expanded mod is not bugging out. And then I'll start the gameplay part of this stream, where you'll see me struggle a lot. And these are from a platform thing. The file name is GMST and something, and I think they're related to the grotwood trees you see. I did uncheck some of the ESPs that are like GMST something, because like the door marker placement was bugged and you could get stuck extremely easy, but I kept the platforms in the trees because they're nice, and I don't think they're bugged like that one ASP, which I might look at later. I'm a little curious about what that floating thing is. Looks like there's a fire in the air. Oh, there it is. I have no idea what that is. I'm just really curious about. Oh no, I see a visual error. I see a visual error. MD NGM Fern Iron Eye. Let's go Ori. Oh, newer Gnar. Wait, this isn't a Holoaid, that's Gnar Mach. I was mistaken. So newer Gnar Mach. Okay, before I make my serious stream, I'm gonna try and resolve that graphical issue. Anyways, Let's see. Oh. Let's see if we can get away. Oh no. Oh no. Wait. I'm gonna try an emergency thing. The electroshock module. Emergency defense mechanism. Oh no, I accidentally murdered someone. That's not good. Yeah, I definitely need to check what's behind this. But I already have the ESP. I'll put the name of it in chat before I forget. I will see everyone again very soon.